Everything you go through, you undeniably grow through. You are not defined by your past. You're bound to make mistakes in your life, but if you make them twice, that's a habit. Don't make mistakes into a habit. You are in control of that. You are in control of your actions. You are in control of what you say, and you are in control of ultimately what you do with your everyday life. Now, you can either play the victim mentality and let it eat you up, beat you down, and control your life, or you can take control, not let these mistakes define you, and you can set yourself up to be on a path that is far from where you were. And yes, it's going to be hard. And yes, it's going to cause you some mental battles. But it's going to make you stronger. I am not defined by who I was in the past. Year ago, if you were to look at me from a year ago to now, the amount that has changed is insane. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's the actions I take in my everyday life that are what set me up to be successful. What set me up to be where I am today. Because I have not always been on this path. I have not always had, a motivation or desire to be better. And even with motivation's only temporary. It's only going to get you so far. That's when your true, undeniable discipline sets in, because it's about what you do when no one else is looking. It's about how you go about yourself when no one else is looking. It's how you speak to yourself when it's just you alone in the room. There is so much more that defines you than what your past is. It's how you carry yourself into the future. It's how you learn from it. It's how you apply it so you don't make the same mistakes that you have made in the past. Stop playing the victim. Take control of your life. Set yourself up to be successful. It's on you, and no one's going to do it for you.
So cultivate and plant the seed. Hold your breath and count to 10. Just count to 10. I'm gonna make it rain, so ring the bell. I know it all too well. Switchblade on the edge of your wrist. Can I get a witness? 'Cause agony brings no reward for one more hit and one last score. Don't be a casualty, cut the cord. Don't be a casualty, cut the cord.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. That is a quote to live by. You know, if you feel stuck where you are at in this given moment and you're not changing anything in your life, that you have control over, then you're choosing to be stuck where you are. If you wanted the change in your life, you would make the changes that you need to, whether that's your diet, whether that's your sleep, whether that's how much you're exercising, who you're surrounding yourself with, what you're doing with your everyday routine. The stuff that you are in control of is what's either keeping you where you are today and keeping you from growing as a person, or it's ultimately going to allow you to grow beyond a potential that you've never imagined yourself accomplishing. You are not bound to be where you are today. Like, God did not put you on this earth to be like, oh, this is all you're meant to do. You know, he gives you goals, he gives you dreams, he gives you desires that you are capable of achieving. Otherwise, he would not give you those dreams, those goals, or those desires. He knows what you are capable of doing. Now, it takes your actions and your disciplines and your motivation and your daily habits to get you to where he wants you to be. You know, he's not going to just give you the idea and then make it happen. You have to be willing to do the work that needs to be done to get to where you want to be. And if you're not willing to put in the work, then don't complain about being stuck in the same place that you are. Because that's on you. There's no one else to blame but yourself. You are in control of so much more than you think. And if you're just willing to just lay back, sit down, and just accept where you are, that's okay. That's cool. But don't come complaining to me when you feel stuck. Don't come complaining to me when you feel no purpose in life. Because God gives you a purpose. You know, these dreams you have, they wouldn't be in your head if he didn't know that you were willing to put in the work and you were capable of achieving them. But you have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to get up on your own, because it is on you. And no one's going to do it for you. Make the changes in your life, or nothing will change. That's what I have to say.